Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lauren, and today I am back with a huge grocery haul to refresh and restock myself so I am prepped and ready to hit the ground running on my health journey 2023. We are a few short days away from New Year's. I feel like that's always such a great time to really give yourself that breath, that reset, set yourself some goals for a fresh year, and jump into a plan on how to achieve them. If you guys are new, I'm Lauren. I lost 80 pounds following the WW Blue plan in 2 years before I had my second baby girl. I have refreshed my own weight loss journey postpartum now using the new WW plan that just launched in November of 2022. If you guys have seen some of my previous videos, you're looking around saying, this looks kind of familiar, but not. We moved in November. And even though my kitchen cabinets and appliances are the same, we do in fact have a new home. It's looking a little empty right now because when we first moved in, it was Thanksgiving and we went ahead and decorated for Christmas right away. We just took everything down for Christmas because my husband is actually home this week in between Christmas and New Year's. So we wanted to take advantage of that, have him home, get everything cleaned out. But I need to do some decorating. It's very empty in here, so sorry if there's some echoing during the video. To make sure I am prepared to hit the ground running come January 1st, I have gone ahead and done a huge new grocery haul, getting all of my healthy staples back in the house, clearing out some of the junk and leftovers from the holidays so they won't be a temptation. I will say we were very lucky that we had a very small Christmas, just our family here at home. I had other family members come visit us in the 2 weeks leading up to Christmas, but then when Christmas came, we didn't have anyone but me, my husband, and my 2 little girls to celebrate with. So I went ahead and when planning our holiday meals and dinners, I specifically made smaller recipes. So we really didn't end up with a ton of leftovers, so I feel like I'm in a really good spot. I've been back on track this whole week other than the days of the holidays. I'm very excited to see where my beginning of the month weigh-in for January comes in. I'll be posting that probably January 2nd or 3rd as my start of the month weigh-in that I'm gonna be sharing monthly now on my YouTube channel. We're kicking it back old school, back when I was sharing monthly weigh-ins, still sharing tons of grocery hauls, meal prepping, and what I eat in a day on the WW plan. So don't miss out on everything coming up. Hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. But let's jump into today's grocery haul. I went to Costco as well as Walmart and did 2 pretty big hauls to kind of reset all of my healthy staples. And then weekly what I do is I check through my pantry, fridge, and freezer first, starting with the fridge and anything that could go bad in the first few days, then moving to my freezer and pantry, and that's how I build my meal plans. I start there, and then for the subsequent groceries, I just shop weekly for a few things here and there. I like to do 1 big haul a month and then weekly kind of do some smaller shops in between. Helps me stay on budget and use the food that's in my home so it doesn't go bad. Because I don't know about you guys, but groceries are entirely too expensive nowadays to let anything go to waste. So that's kind of how I grocery shop for my family of 4. So let's get into what I picked up for January from Costco and Walmart. So I went in store to Costco and then I did a Walmart pickup haul. So I kind of have everything all laid out at once. I will go ahead and notate down here in the bottom bar, the item, what the WW points are for it, and also which location I picked it up at, either Costco or Walmart. So starting back here with some of my pantry stuff, I of course had to restock on my old-fashioned oats. Oats are such a great hearty way to start your morning. I love using these for meal prepping, either baked oatmeal or crock pot oatmeal, and then having a bunch of healthy, ready-to-go breakfasts ready for the week. They really give you long-lasting energy so you're not feeling hungry all throughout the morning before your next meal, provide you lots of fiber, so we love oats on our journey. I also picked up some cherry Coca-Cola Zero, as well as some Diet Cran cherry juice. With the holidays happening, I've been having different beverages other than just my usual coffee or water, and I feel like I'm gonna need to wean myself back to drinking more water, which I definitely need to focus on in January, but having options like a 0 sugar soda or a low point juice drink that you can mix with plain seltzer water to have a little flavored, bubbly drink. That's what I plan on drinking for New Year's, is some of this cran cherry juice mixed with plain seltzer water. Add some frozen cranberries in there to give it a little fun. Definitely putting it in a wine glass because I feel like drinking anything out of a wine glass makes it feel fancy and like I'm not missing out on an alcoholic beverage. I'm not personally a big drinker, so this is definitely a favorite way for me to enjoy the holidays with a little mocktail, and it's super low in points. And then, yes, obviously kiddos have been here. Lila has already hit the applesauce pouches, my 4-year-old. But these are great for her to do with meals, also for snacks, but even for me, because this is no sugar added added applesauce pouches. If you just need a quick, easy snack, I pop these in our fridge so they're nice and cold. No shame in that game of having an applesauce pouch as an adult. They're so good. And because it's 0 added sugar, 0 point snack. Another easy swap I love to do is I make my own red sauces, whether it's for pasta or pizza, or you need a marinara for dipping. It's so easy just to make your own sauce with some pureed organic tomato sauce. Double check the ingredients always. The Kirkland brand has 0 added sugar to it. And as long as when you're checking the ingredients, there's no added sugar, you should be able to pop it into the WW app and it's going to be a 0 point sauce for you. So stay away from the pre-made jar stuff if you can. Trust me, we're a busy family. We use it on occasion too. However, this is gonna keep your sauces nice and low points, no added sugar, and so much cheaper in the long run just to add your own Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic powder, any spices you want to make your own perfect sauce for pastas and pizzas, as opposed to buying the jars from your grocery store. And I love how easy this box just packs into my pantry. I don't waste all that space with multiple jars on my pantry shelves. Speaking of unsweetened applesauce, I also got a jar of it from Walmart, so I don't go through so much additional packaging. I like to buy bigger jars that I use when I do baking. If you don't know, you can swap out unsweetened applesauce for oil in any baking recipe. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so if you're doing a baking recipe, say for muffins, and it calls for a 1/4 cup of oil, do a 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce. You just cut out all the calories and points you would have used for oil. Your baking comes out so moist and delicious. So I've been doing that trick for years now and it's a staple in our household. I don't ever buy cooking oil other than olive oil for specific recipes. And spray avocado oil is what I use like day to day in my pans and stuff so they don't stick. I have a pack of chicken breasts here. I have a really yummy mushroom chicken and rice recipe. I think I'm gonna film that one and share it in one of my next upcoming videos. I'm doing a few of my favorite comfort food dishes for WW. So I'm gonna share that one then, but I got mushrooms and chicken breasts for that recipe. I also grabbed a dozen eggs. Again, this is a great way to bump up the protein in your day for 0 to little points. I believe eggs are now 0 points for everyone on the WW plan. So I eat eggs a lot for breakfast. My daughter Lila, who's 4.5, also more than 4.5. She's almost 5, guys. Can we believe that? Oh my gosh. But anyway, she also loves having scrambled eggs for breakfast, and it's a great way to start our morning with protein. A head of garlic, which is kind of hiding over here. A whole bag of yellow onions to use as I'm cooking. For fruit, I picked up 1 mango. My kids aren't super big fans of mango, although Nora is my 8-month-old, and she's just starting kind of to really grasp onto solid foods. She's still on a lot of purees. We're slowly transitioning her. She can't pick up mango easily for like baby-led weaning, but she does like the puree of mango in yogurt in the morning for breakfast, but Mama likes mango with some either tahini or Trader Joe's chili lime seasoning on it for a great yummy sweet and spicy snack in the afternoon. And that snack, 0 points. I also grabbed a pomelo, mostly for me. A pomelo, if you guys are unfamiliar, is a fruit very similar to a grapefruit. It looks just, I can't even pick it up with one hand. Absolutely massive, but I will say the rind on this is super, super thick. I mean, the fruit inside is still pretty sizable, but it's mostly rind. It's very similar to a grapefruit, a little bit florally. A whole bag of carrots. I'm gonna need to peel these and chop them down into sticks. I much prefer to buy carrots whole. They have so much more flavor than those waterlogged little baby carrots in the bags. Even though those ones are probably a little bit easier for my kids to eat, Lila still loves helping me peel and prep these, and therefore she's really gotten into eating them as well. When kids help in the kitchen, they're so much more likely to eat the healthy food you're prepping. So she's my little sous chef. You guys see her on the channel a lot. She loves helping me in the kitchen, and we love having carrots on hand. When they're prepped, we can either use them as carrot sticks to snack on, or dip in hummus or ranch dressing, or they're already ready to go for me just to like toss in a little bit of spray avocado oil in our air fryer with some seasoning, and we can make an easy vegetable side dish for dinner. But the prep work is already done. I also bought a giant head of romaine lettuce for salads and on like some sandwiches and wraps in the next week for lunches, and then a bag of Pink Lady apples, as well as some cutie clementines for fruit. We're usually a strawberry grape household, but I've had real trouble finding some good strawberries lately, so we are making the switch until those come more into season, back to apples and oranges. These are so easy to just put in a bowl out on your counter. I love how bright and colorful they are in my kitchen. And also when they're out and visible, I'm so much more likely just to grab a piece of fruit, which is 0 points on the WW plan for a snack, than to dig in my pantry for something that's not gonna be so low point and WW friendly. For dairy back here from Costco, I picked up one of their 2-pound blocks of sharp cheddar cheese. It's always more cost efficient to purchase the blocks of cheese than the pre-shredded bags. And honestly, since I've switched in the last few months to doing this, and then what I do is I shred about half this brick into a Ziploc bag to use throughout the week for the kids' quesadillas or on pasta or in other recipes. And honestly, this melts so much better than the pre-shredded kind. So that's a switch I've made recently. Skip out on whatever that extra powder stuff is that they put on your shredded cheese. Shred your own. It's great for melting. It's cost efficient. It can be kind of a pain, but if you shred up a chunk of it at a time and have some that's just grab and go, I found that makes me much more likely to want to continue buying the bricks, because no one wants to have to wash their cheese shredder after every meal, when especially you have little kids who eat shredded cheese on like everything at least once a day. I have a gallon of 2% milk because kids. And yes, a tiny bit is missing because Lila had some chocolate milk as soon as we got home. And then she's at the park right now with Josh. So she had a little snack and then headed out. Nora's napping, so mommy could actually get some filming done. I have some almond milk, unsweetened vanilla for me. I'm switching back to using this in my coffee. I was using oat milk for a while, but sometimes oat milk kind of messes with my stomach. And even though I love the taste of it and the creaminess of it, because it doesn't always make me feel great afterwards, and because I believe 1 cup of oat milk is 4 points, a cup of regular milk is 5 points on the WW plan, a cup of almond milk unsweetened, 1 point on the WW plan. So that's a way I really cut down some points in my morning coffee, is by using unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And then other staples in the house, non-fat plain Chobani Greek yogurt. Doesn't have to be Chobani, it can be any brand of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Comes in at 0 points on the new WW plan. Yes, you can use this as yogurt, mix in some honey and fruit or other seasonings like cinnamon and have a great little yogurt bowl for breakfast. But also because it's the plain version and unsweetened, you can use this as a substitute for sour cream. Now I did go ahead and buy some light sour cream as well, just because I needed a lot for a recipe. When we do like family taco nights and things, a lot of times I'll just use plain non-fat Greek yogurt, mix in a little bit of fresh lime juice, a little bit of seasoning, and we use that as like a flavored sour cream crema on our tacos. It's also great for baking with, or if you plan on doing any sort of 2-ingredient dough recipes on WW. There's a ton of recipes that you can find on Pinterest or blogs for 2-ingredient dough and things you can use it for. 2-ingredient dough is equal parts plain non-fat Greek yogurt and self-rising flour. You can easily mix those two together and you can make a pizza crust. You can make bagels. You can make little flatbreads, tons of stuff you can do with it. So this is just always great to have on hand, because I feel like when I have some of this, there's always an option of something home I can cook and it be healthy and fit into my daily WW plan. Okay, moving on to some frozen items. I got some shelled soybean edamame. Lila had some of these for the first time the other day when we had some Chinese food, and she actually really liked them. So I just grabbed one package. I know soybeans are not the best for you in the world, but they're kind of a fun little snacky snack and super low point. We just sprinkle a little bit of salt on them and enjoy. A package of frozen broccoli florets. These are a staple. We use it multiple times a week as sides with our dinners. Both my kids love broccoli, so it's an easy way to get them a nice green veggie in. I have some sweet peas here that I purchased with a specific meal idea in mind. So some frozen sweet peas. When I first started my WW journey, I really learned how important it was for me personally to have breakfast every morning, because when I hit my highest weight of 365 pounds, I'm telling you, I may not have actually eaten that much or that often, but I was drinking tons and tons and tons of calories every day between sweetened coffee beverages and sodas and juices. I was someone who drank my calories. So I know in the mornings I like to start off with a full glass of water, and I also like to eat something for breakfast before I indulge in that morning coffee. It helps to kick my day off usually with some protein and some sort of a carb. That way I'm not super hungry on and off all day, and I love doing that with some hash browns, onions, and peppers mix. Just popping some of these in the air fryer, topping it with a couple eggs, and maybe some salsa. That's a great easy breakfast for me. I also like to use these when I'm making my own at-home breakfast burritos. That's a great meal prep. I've done plenty before, and it always helps to have something in the freezer ready just to pop in the air fryer, heat it up, and I can eat it as soon as I get home from dropping my oldest daughter off at preschool. Another freezer staple for us are these Just Bare chicken nuggets, the lightly breaded chicken breast chunks. We get ours from Costco. They do sell these in other grocery stores, and I swear to you, these are an exact dupe for Chick-fil-A nuggets. We pop ours in the air fryer. We either have them as like chicken nugget and french fry and a vegetable on the side for a easy quick dinner for the whole family, or a lot of times my husband and I will make these up and toss them onto a salad or in a wrap with lots of fresh, crunchy veggies. It's just a great, easy staple to have on hand to always make sure you have an easy source of protein and an easy meal on hand. Also for frozen veggies, this is my absolute favorite frozen vegetable mix. I do get this one at Costco. It's the Pura Vida Fire Roasted Vegetable Melange Mix, 4-pound bag of frozen veggies. It does have a light olive oil dressing to it, so 1 serving of these. When I pop them in my air fryer, you can also just cook them in a pot on the stovetop or in the oven. I like to air fry mine to get a little bit of crispy edges on some of the veggies. They do count as 1 point per serving. Let's a little closer look here at what's all in. There we go. In the mix of veggies, you have Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, red and yellow bell pepper, red onion, and again, it's tossed in that olive oil with Himalayan pink salt and black peppercorn, toasted to perfection. So it does already come a little bit charred. So even if you were just to like zap some of these in the microwave, they'd have some good char flavor to them. But again, we like ours in the air fryer. This, along with some of these and just some like rice on the side, easy meal done. I also picked up a can of cream of mushroom soup. That's gonna be for that chicken and mushroom recipe I mentioned. I'm gonna be sharing with you guys here on the channel in the next week. And this is new for me. This is the Better Than Bouillon. I've heard tons of people use this. I found ours at Costco, so it's a pretty large jar of it, but I hate how much room it takes up in the pantry to buy the giant boxes of chicken stock from Costco. We don't have a ton of room in our pantry. So to store 6 boxes of broth or stock at a time was a lot of space. So this one's opened, you keep in your refrigerator, and basically anytime you need a box of stock, you use 1.5 tablespoons of this chicken base to 4 cups of water, and you've just created your own quart of stock without taking up a ton of room. There's lots in here. This is perfect to keep on hand for those winter months when you're doing a lot of soups or stews in the crock pot and you just need to have chicken stock on hand. Speaking of soup season, I grabbed a few cans of soup at my husband's request. He loves taking these Progresso cans that have the pop tops to work because he can easily just pour a serving of soup in a bowl and microwave it. So he keeps a little back stock of soup in the winter at his work. My daughter Lila is a black bean queen. She doesn't really love meat of many kinds. She does eat like the chicken nuggets, and she'll eat taco meat, beef usually, and occasionally some other things. We're working on it. We're trying to get her to open up to more meat selections, but to help keep up with her protein needs, she loves beans. So we always have black beans on hand. She eats these with quesadillas or in tortilla roll-ups all the time. She'll just eat them as a side with dinner. She also loves chickpeas and hummus, so those are always in our pantry as well. Just some easy plant-based protein options. So something I love to do when I follow WW is to make sure I find items just to keep in the fridge that are gonna add a lot of flavor to my meals for minimal points. So things like some nice mild banana pepper rings. These add so much flavor to a pasta salad or a rice dish or on sandwiches. And they're just pickled vegetables, so basically 0 points. Salsa, 0 points. Love adding this to eggs or to wraps or salads. And of course with tortilla chips for a snack. And then these are some bean sprouts. I am gonna be making a DIY orange chicken and fried rice on New Year's Day. So we're gonna have our Chinese food on New Year's Day, but I'm gonna DIY it and kind of lessen up the calories and the oils and everything and make a nice WW version. And I love bean sprouts in my fried rice. So I got some of those to pop in there. I love a good crunch in that rice dish. I also picked up some quinoa. I think I'm gonna use this for my lunch meal prep coming up next week so I can do some grain bowls. I did grab some garlic seasoned butter flavored croutons. We love doing salad night. And honestly, I feel like salads are so great for WW because you can switch up the flavors so easily. You can do a big salad for dinner once or twice a week and it can be a totally different meal depending on what dressing you use or make and what you put on for toppings. Because we love to load ours up with leafy greens and fresh crunchy veggies, it's easy to add in some croutons or dressing or other fun toppings that I know will add points, but when the base of your meal has 0 points, that's where it's fun to play around with those points. WW points are meant to be used. That is one of the things I always try to hit home with anyone who's following along with my journey and looking for tips while they're on theirs. Don't be afraid to use your points. You have your points for a reason. And for me, in my past, doing WW for the last 3 years now, I always notice a difference when I'm truly using up my points, not going way over or crazy on them, or even using up all my weeklies. I like use some of my weeklies sometimes, and I save them for special occasions, but daily, I do try to hit my daily points, and it's because that's where I see the best weight loss, and I feel the best. I feel satisfied and like I've eaten enough. For me, I'm not afraid of points. I like to eat them. I like to use them. I'm not afraid of carbs in this house. So, and also my daughter loves to eat these as a snack. So there you go, 4-year-old life, snacking on croutons. Speaking of kid snacks, I also just picked up a box of these fruit and grain bars. These are mostly for Lila to bring for her morning snack to preschool, but my husband loves them too. So these are not point friendly, but that is the life when you have a family at home. I have to learn how to have enough stuff for me that I feel prepared and that I'm not gonna overdo it and all of a sudden eat like 4 of these granola bars out of nowhere. So anyway, I feel prepared. I have a lot of my own snacks, so it's okay to have stuff for them as well. That's what a family is. We all have to function in this house. And finally, I do have 1 loaf of this Sara Lee Artisano bread. Lila likes this for her PBJs when she brings those to school, or just for toast. However, back here, I have it starting to get prepped. I'm gonna try and share this with you guys in a video coming up because some of you were curious. I have gotten into sourdough bread baking in the last few months. Lila and I made our original starter here, Winifred. It was during Halloween and she was very into Hocus Pocus. So Winifred is our original starter, and we branched off Miss Sarah here as a wheat-based starter from this one. So I have one that's wheat, one that's white. I'm probably gonna be doing weekly. I usually make 1 wheat loaf, and that's usually what we use for our sandwiches or for toast in the mornings. So I'll make some homemade wheat sourdough. And then the white sourdough, I often use, sometimes I'll use it to make a nice crusty loaf. More than likely, I'm using it to make bagels or English muffins or some focaccia bread, or some other sort of specialty bread that goes along with my meal plan for the week. So I believe the fam was asking for English muffins this week, so I think that's what I'm gonna be making. So I have to get those fed and start that baking process this afternoon sometime. But in the near future, I'll share a little bit more with you guys if you're interested. And if you see them peeking out, some really, really brown looking bananas, I actually just pulled these out of the freezer this morning. They were left over earlier in the week. I noticed they started going brown, so I tucked them in the freezer. Now they have defrosted, and Lila and I are gonna make some banana chocolate chip muffins for the week. So we'll have those as a fun little snacky breakfast to have around. Those are also gonna be some items we'll have on hand next week. Okay guys, that is my big grocery haul of what I've stocked in my house to have a fresh, healthy start in 2023. Let me know down in the comments what you have stocked in your house or what you're planning to stock up on your house to help kickstart back into your journey after the holidays. I'll have a few new videos out next week to help motivate you guys during the first week of a new year on a health plan with WW, as well as to keep myself accountable. I'll be sharing my beginning of the month weigh-in, some meal recipe ideas, and also more about my 2023 goals, because I always think that setting goals is really important to keep yourself motivated. So once again, make sure you hit that red subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, bye.